Welcome to Gamebreakers. My name's Thomas. I am here with Will, Shragon, and Allison. Oh man, Will, Shragon, and Allison. There we go, mirrored camera. And below me, you'll see the ghost of our callbot that records these things, Cambot. When last we left our intrepid heroes in our Dungeons and Dragons game, Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, our offshoot of Tomb of Annihilation, we'll get back to the main stuff. But meanwhile, you had just, after following a long trail of videos that you all should go back and watch, a long silver trail shot of an arrow shot by Angel. The arrow, of course, used to be or was, or might still be, your friend Wayne. That has led you on a little jaunt through the plains, and now to the outlands. If you see on the map, red circled in red is the neighborhood of the outlands. Out in the distance, you can see what looks like kind of dense jungle ruins that have, there's clearly activity there. This portal has a pathway down to a road, but mostly there's just a super stomped path directly to a massive I'll call it a labyrinth. Can't really see inside it or anything, but I mean, you can see that it is a walled structure that seems wholly in nature and is built at a very large scale. And that, as noted, is the path where the 100-foot Tyrannosaurus Rex tracks stomp out into the forest. You, of course, are at a portal from the Beastland at the Forgotten Plateau, through which you had to do a little prayer and a little sacrifice to Uptau to make it through. And after being ambushed again by that son of a bitch Devixenum, or the time duplicate of him sent by the Fane, whatever that is, again, go back. There's been some lore exposed. You once again were victorious. Had to suffer once again through his kind of self-aggrandizing explanation of what you have just defeated, and that were then approached by two tabaxi coming down the road at a pretty brisk pace. One approached you, asked you if you needed any help, and then also asked, "Do you know my son? Do you know my son?" What do you do?
Your son,
Thomas.
Wayne?
That's his name in common.
You look like you could be related to Wayne. Something about the eyes and the ears, I don't know.
Indeed. You see a kind of thick with two C's, tabaxi, wearing, golden robes, got some sort of vestments to them. Looks like there's some amount of armor underneath them. I don't know if I described, but she's not like dressed for battle or. I am Imala, Wayne's mother. You must be his friends. I was told you would be around here somewhere and would need help.
Where did you hear that?
Why, my angel?
Ah, yes. Do you know anything about the Fane?
No. What
Yeah.
is a feign?
A being outside of time, imprisoned, but seeks freedom and steals people at a time. That's my understanding.
That is not the sort of help I can give.
Okay.
However, looks like some of you are hurt.
That is a more immediate need, yeah.
And also, we're sort of confused about where your son is. So we'd like to reunite, which I believe puts us on a common purpose.
The path leads in to Uptau's labyrinth.
Wait, so I don't know. Is this so? This string is Wayne. Do you have any alcohol to drink?
No.
Dom would step forward and say, I would gladly take any healing or first aid you could offer.
Okay. And she looking around, you're all still a little battered, right?
Uh-huh. Dom and Annette are both.
She will hit you with a mass healing word. Or wait, mass cure wound. Sorry.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. These wounds look like they would take a while.
Right. She gathers you all within 60 feet. No, well, as long as you're within 30 feet of each other. Okay. Sorry, it's a 60-foot range with a 30-foot burst. And you all get that went well. 22 HP. Excuse me. 22 hit points back.
Nice.
That was just exactly what I needed. Thank you so much.
I knew I would need to help.
Perfect.
So, I am told that you have traveled very far and through time to reach this moment following my boy.
That's accurate. It'll make a good story at the end, I'm sure.
Oh, how rude of me. And she finally acknowledges the man by her side. This is the spirit of my father, Umdao.
Out of game, that wasn't Ubtao, that was Untao, right?
Umdao.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't
So
until I
not-
just said them like next to each other that I realized the similarity. But no.
So not 100-foot tall Tyrannosaurus in disguise. Got it. Thank you.
No. It translates to lifts and tears. He says. If that helps distinguish. But mostly he just like remains silent and quiet, contemplative even.
Dom would step forward. Do you speak with angels often?
Why, yes. I am a priestess. It is part of the gig. Do you speak with my boy often? He
I've
nodded.
never met him.
So,
We spoke with him a lot more before he became a ball of yarn or
Arrow
whatever
of
he
light,
is right now.
maybe?
Moon arrow, something.
weapon of the angel, as he was sworn to be from very young. You know how he became what he is, right?
No backstory. Woohoo!
We would love to hear.
Does he never speak of his mother? Uh,
He spoke. He said so many complimentary things about you. I blush even thinking about it, and I'm sure I couldn't do it justice. But yes, he constantly said very nice things about you.
she knows you're lying, but she doesn't call you. So as you also take a short rest, because he's going to sit down and tell you the whole story. Essentially, Wayne was born sickly. He was the runt of the litter, and was not expected to make it. He caught an illness. It had taken his sight and was probably going to get him. And Imala called down an angel. This was before she was a priestess. But she knew the rituals to and the place to go to call an angel to this plane safely, and like where it had already resided once, and basically bullied it into saving her child. And the only way that the angel could do that was through a pact, and thus the Warlock Pact was forged. So the cost of it was that neither he nor she could sense the other one. They were both erased from each other's perception. Which is the point where she pulls out like 3 big scrapbook-looking affairs, like bound with like tabs and full-on like markers and all like little handwritten notes of just like artist rendition after artist rendition of her child growing up, just the full scrapbook treatment. Her like
Aw.
even her father is like, oh. But over the course of a short rest has just all manner of like just Wayne at the there's one of like a row of tabaxi kids that have like caught a big fish or a whole rack of squirrels, and Wayne had 4 zombies on the same spear. And he's just this little scrawny kid. And all the other kids are like, ugh. That kind of, mom stuff. I don't know that you learn anything important about Wayne that you necessarily didn't know, except for that was the source of the Warlock Pact. Other than that, it's proud mom stuff. I mean, nothing you wouldn't have guessed, that he dedicated himself to being a hunter and stalking under moonlight and being exactly the thing that he grew up to be. From a child, he's like, well, this is what I'm going to be when I grow up. And then he was that thing. Did not deter much from his mother's plans. She's completely proud mother. She's exactly what she bargained for with the angel.
Good bargain. I mean, I don't know. That's a steep cost.
It was. It still is. Until today. You see, today is a special anniversary of the cosmic condition that created the pact. And so, today, I was able to call to the angel. And more politely, and with more authority, she sort of like gestures to the moon, the holy symbol of the moon, that is featured in her vestments. And today, I will see him.
Wow, that's huge.
Sounds like it's time for a party.
We will celebrate. For a short time. Be forever. And I too have traveled through time this moment. I think my trip was not so arduous as yours.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because ours has not been pleasant. Keep running into the same copy.
That's very...
And he's not pleasant. So it sucks every time.
Is it related to this Fane creature?
Yes. Diviximum. Divimixin. That's what I have down. I don't know if that's right.
That sounds like a Yugoloth name.
Yeah, he's still like, what is he? Like a duplicate? So he's a time thingy.
And Arcanoloth.
Right. That Fane did something. I don't think he's actually Fane, though, right?
Yeah, he's supposedly being controlled by the Fane.
So many copies of the same creature thrown by some sort of cosmic abomination.
Yes. I mean,
However,
the only plus side is he has like pretty epic loot every time, and so that's pretty cool.
So we're all going to have the same copy of his loot, each of us eventually. You're welcome to the next round.
I will consider it if it comes up.
We could sell it as a set.
Although I got the sense from the contingency spell magic mouth speech that we keep hearing that the Divixinum original critter wasn't really happy about this arrangement. Like, it wasn't like signing on, yay, I'm going to do this for the Fane forever and keep whatever, So, I don't know. I mean, I'm not convinced that Divixinum was like a great guy already. But, it might be a kindness to him. I mean, aside from saving the universe, it might be a kindness to him to get him out of the cycle, too.
It would at least stop the same assassin from coming after you. Unless you just master the art, really kicking his ass. Then it's uh,
If we could do it in our home plane, that would be ideal, though.
We're getting better, I think.
yeah. As for a moment, as your GM, I will have you cast back to the moment, Chippy, when you did the exact thing to short circuit the thing that you hated most about what he was doing. That put the opening for the whole like 2 rounds of just like circle kicks of everybody just getting around in a circle and getting their shots in.
Out of game side note, Alex has not taken her feat for leveling up to 10th level, and I've been really resisting the urge to just specialize in Shocking Grasp. Like make her a one-hit wonder with just Shocking Grasp. Destroy reaction.
I mean, why not?
The one-trick pony, and then...
It's not a bad choice.
Well, it'd probably work on others too, but out of game. Sorry.
That's all right. I'm not sure if I mentioned an owl also, as during the short rest, comes down and lands, and you can tell it's a celestial owl. It is clearly a familiar.
Gom would
to Imala.
step forward. You offered some help, and the healing magic is much appreciated. What other help, other than the stories, do you have to offer?
We are traveling the same direction. I can accompany. My father is legendary warrior. I am a powerful cleric. If you are again harassed on this road, a way to reunite with my boy, I would help and intercede.
Sounds good.
Can I run an insight check just to make sure this lady's for real?
Yes. Dun dun dun! It was Devixidum the whole thing.
The bastard.
We haven't escalated to that level of bastardom.
Shregon keeps taking a break. I mean, we'll see how it goes.
All right, so I see a 16. I see a 16.
So, if my fox can give me advantage, I get the 29.
Okay. Then 29 is thoroughly sincere. She is on a. I mean, this is sort of a work-related vacation for her. She is, use cashing in her cleric perks to go on a jaunt through the heavens to a place that's holy and connected to her people.
Mm-hmm.
To talk with her forbidden son. Thoroughly sincere. She's excited to be here. She had all this stuff packed. She like.
Oh, thank God! I didn't want to have to accuse someone's mother.
And she also packed lunches for all of them. She seems to have known that you would be there, how many would be here, and that and what kind of help you would need. Yeah, I mean it's simple. It's peanut butter jelly, some jerky, a cookie,
Thank you.
Any fantasy land that has magic and peanuts would figure out peanut. Just saying. So,
I agree.
All right, so
and in Spanish, I guess it's called crema de cacahuates, so cream of peanuts, and that kind of goes along with the cat thing in my mind.
There you go. So later on through lunch, as you're getting packed up, she explains like the pathway leads into Uptal's labyrinth. I assume it will follow my boy's path. Oh, I have made a terrible assumption. You certainly do not know about Uptal's labyrinth, correct?
No. Have you been there before?
No, it is it is retreated into myth. It was the home city of the Tabaxi. It was in history Ubtau's site of habitation on the material plane. Existed within the city of Mesro and then has retreated here to the outline.
With an 18, I'm like, wait, who's Ubtao? We had this before. Who?
No, you got it. You like, god of dinosaurs, right? He's primordial, so he's, where there's usually some version of him where there's jungles and dinosaurs. Plus he's come up a lot.
Right, lately, yeah.
Right? You had to just about a half hour ago, he did a whole bunch of prayers to some kind of friendly dinosaurs to get through.
True.
So but yeah, completely sincere. As you're packing up, like I said, getting ready to leave, is there anything y'all are doing?
Gauntlet does spend the time to empower the ring.
Okay.
And reviews his remaining spells. That was costly.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course the wizard takes a short rest and regains his spells. Meanwhile, Ashley is trying to use her cartography skill to make a rough sketch of Wayne coming out of the lava and menacing the fire newts. Here's a rough rendition.
Nice.
She presents it with some disclaimers. I'm not really an artist, and here you go. It's not really finished. I can finish it for you later, but she offers it to the mom.
Oh, this is so kind.
I'll tell you a story.
And she is at which point she's 100% on board. Is like, I would love to hear all of this. And so as you're going, she is constantly like pulling the stories out of you, all the things that you've been doing on this adventure. So anything else you do before you start traveling? Okay. Hearing none. Yeah, she's as you're getting on the road, and you finish up the fire newt story. It's like that was foolhardy, and I must talk to you all about safety and taking your time. But we will overlook that. It was also very heroic. No permanent casualties. There was that dwarf. But times of battle, correct?
Hmm.
How did you all meet? How did you meet my son?
Out of game, since I wasn't there, I'll let someone else tell the story. Although my
It was
character
the
was
city
there,
of
but just
Baldur's Gate.
zombie.
It was the city of Baldur's Gate. There's a wasting disease that was affecting those who've been raised from the dead, and also nobody could be raised from the dead anymore. So we were tasked with me, Wayne, and Professor Emerson were tasked with this. Or was Professor Emerson the person? Anyway, forget Professor Emerson. Wayne and me were tasked with this.
He's still in the boat. Oh.
Oh right, yeah, okay. I didn't put enough in my notes. Like what's?
I remember.
Oh yeah, bright blue cobalt.
I remember this way. Always wondered how it had cleared up.
So yeah, that's what we were tasked with looking into. That's how we met.
So yeah, then there's the Ross of Nasi, who's like trying to take over the world and kill everything, and he's like a anti-paladin who's probably some kind of undead with like a human head sewed on something else, and then there's all this like that's a big problem there. But then we came here and sort of weirdly spontaneously, and I get the sense that you know something, you have a pretty good relationship with this deity who has apparently connected us with this thing about the Fane. So maybe do you have any way of finding out what exactly how we're supposed to help with the Fane? Because like we're here, but then after this, and apparently we've gone back in time, like you said, and but then after this, we got to go save the world there. So we might as well get on with saving the world here first, right? Since we're here. I mean, I guess we could go there and save that world and then come back here afterwards. But then that's kind of too much timey-wimey anyway. Yeah, does your god want to tell us what to do next?
My, how you
Please?
are in a circle. There is a path set for you. So why not just follow the path? Do you doubt this angel's in?
Having a healer such as yourself and a wonderful warrior with us certainly makes me less doubtful.
If you doubt, why follow the path at all?
It's not so much doubting as just wondering if I remembered to bring my spell focus when I'm running out the door in the morning to go get coffee.
I know. You're a wizard. You answer to everything. Things don't have answers, or easy ones, or ones that would fit in your mind or mine. But there is a path. I know what is at the end of the path. It's my son. It is your friend. And if part of the path is learning something or fight something, then it will all be on the path. It certainly has not been a straight path from point A to point B. It has taken you where it needed you. Now it needs you down there. Am I wrong?
I don't think you're wrong. I do think it's that we don't know what the end is for or what exactly we're journeying toward, but it is the path forward is clear.
It is hard having faith, belief that be known. But that is the realm of the divine.
So yeah, also, as long as we're on the subject of the path, I feel like part of the path at this point might possibly include what to do with these. And Chippy pulls out some exotic planar art objects and metal ingots and says, "Do you know somebody that would wants these? Maybe give us a good price. Maybe trade us for a bunch of."
I'm not the merchant.
I have a sense that you've traveled a bit. Maybe you know people. Okay, it was worth a shot.
These places.
They're pretty and shiny.
And some of them have exotic quality. Though they seem fascinating. I'm sure a smith would know what to do with them. But no, I'm not here to trade or to barter. So, tell me more about this jungle quest that you are. You have an enemy. You are. Why is he your enemy?
Who?
This Rasa of Nisi, the undead man sown on it.
Oh,
Perhaps you could give me more clarity.
is he the soulmonger? Was that I know? No, the soulmonger curse is what's causing it.
I thought the soulmonger was a thing.
The Rosnasi was the opponent spoken of by the Guardian Naga that told of the Ross's previous and current plans, and that the current plans must be put to stop to save Philip.
See. And this creature is.
He's an undead, anti-paladin, possibly demigod, leader of a big cult of Yangtze. What are they called? The snake people. And then there's a bunch of undead everywhere, and then none of the aristocracy can revive themselves, and nobody can do revivify or resurrection or anything. I feel like I'm repeating myself. And then there's the soulmonger thing, which I'm sort of unclear on. I feel like
you have ranged far for it. Tell me more about Rasnis. Leads Yonti But why is he your enemy?
Because somebody told us that it was his fault there was undead everywhere, killing everybody and poisoning the jungle, and also that he was sucking people's souls or something. But maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was his boss. Is like eating all the souls of the people that die, so they can't go to the afterlife or something.
So
Syndra Silvermane tell us that? Is that who?
No, it was the spirit, not guardian of lost the name of the city. Naga.
The Guardian Naga. It starts with an O. I have to look.
Yeah.
Sasha
Is that it?
No. Omu is the city you're about to assault. But that's where you heard that. All right. So you have made a promise. That is.
Yeah, and the Guardian Naga also, I think was going to put a G's or Geist, however you spell that, like force us to do the quest, but we all decided we wanted to do the quest anyway, so she didn't have to.
Oh, I found my old run SC. I spelled it so differently in my notes. Let me fix this.
And
was that the village of Yelyurk? Is that the one that where the
That's
Naga
the
was?
goblin.
Okay, sorry. Just trying to going through my notes. Yeah, he was so Ron Anisi was the cursed paladin, right?
Yes.
Yes. That leads the Yanti into Amu, who reaped the undead plague.
But is he the problem? Now, you must eliminate. Will that produce a cure? Is that the end of the Soma?
I don't know.
You said that the other thing you've learned is that there is a being in time. How does it work?
The Fane?
Yes, that one.
From what I understand, it steals people at a time and replaces them with its own agents to meddle with things on the material plane because it's imprisoned outside of time.
So it manipulates to unusual outcome fit this thing.
Yeah. And it specifically is with this Arcanoloth.
Oh,
Orlunga was the name.
Ah, yes, legendaries. All of these events seem connect by a single thread, by people who follow it. What you are living through right now is a historical event.
Those always did sound stressful.
Pose them up. But know that in such time, people facing history itself often have prayers, songs of people believe as they believe, but cannot be by them.
That's true.
In those times, that can make you of course know why it must have been my son to have been called.
Because of this agreement you made?
Oh, if this is part of the angels, then Wayne must have been sent to help foil this creature. And was created from the first moment, taught to be the weapon needed on the field. Young, dark, full of undead creatures. Could not have raised. But it is part of something. Yeah? And there is something more to the soul monk. He has been set by the quest of this time being. Do you know that you are here before the time you left?
Yes. I know we're before before there were legends of Ras Nasi. But more specific than that, I don't know.
I know a little bit of story about Rust. It's part of Tabaxi history. He was one of the leaders of Mesra, and it was his fault the city was erased or fled from the material plane, and with it Uptau. As a whole, I could have done just a bit of a finer job teaching the boy history. He has forgotten to home, but he was always outside. As you can see here.
So why is the angel hunting this Fane? And why are all the other gods not all excited about the Fane? Because it sounds like the Fane's pretty bad. Like, you
That's
know,
so busy. Do you think it's the only bad thing?
well, I mean, if we all get together and tackle one bad thing, then we can all get together and tackle the next one sooner.
The gods did. It sounds like they have exiled this thing outside of time. And then set holy agents to counter its manipulations of events.
You mean like you, the holy agent?
I mean,
And
the angel and those she chooses to activate. My son, through him, you.
so you're calling us agents. Ah.
Operative.
That was your takeaway?
Those who would fight in the name of good. You do know that there are wars within wars among slaves.
Oh yeah, all the time, everywhere. Pretty much every reality we touched when we was traveling through with the Feywild Circus, like everywhere we went, people were having their drama, and pretty much without fail. Well, okay, not every time, but a lot of times, drinking and card playing would help, at least for a minute. At least for that night, it would be better.
Each of these wars in spiritual realms are manifestations as well as causes of moments of our life. Each moment of good that we choose, go on the side of righteous, holy battlefield. Every life saved, each moment of suffering. Every cruel choice we make swings the sword the other. But enough, I'm not here to preach. Tell me more about myself.
I feel like if you preach anymore, we're all going to get we're going to start getting buffs, and we're going to have like morale boost or something like at this point, I feel like I already got a morale boost. Like, let's go fight right now. I'm ready. Anybody?
I could perform a ceremony. Would make your next day packed. You would have to swear fealty. Or get married. Any lovers in the crowd? No?
Not today.
Anybody who would just do it for the paperwork. It's a pretty good benefit.
Yeah, what are the citizenship laws in this place? I mean, we're kind of in a foreign land here.
Oh, you are clearly in the land of Ubtao. We are close enough to his godlydom that his whims affect the landscape.
Isn't this the beast realms? I mean, so clearly rabbits belong and cats belong in the beast realms, but I don't know about these humanoids here.
No, this is the Outlands. This is the infinite hub.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess y'all are okay then.
But the portal that we just came from was the Beastland. Came through. Ubtao spends time in both. He is known to have cultivated the forbidden plateau that portal leads from. but he resides here in the Atlan.
Do you know of a library here? Anything with, I don't know, obscure mystical texts by any chance?
Everything is available. She points to the spike in the middle of the plane that is visible from as far as away from from any distance. You can see the center of the spike with a from here a tiny little ring at the top. Sigil. All things can be found.
So there's a library there. All right.
If that's where the path.
So are we gonna walk some more before dinner, or should we just go ahead and have dinner now?
Oh, you've got I mean, this has only been, 20, 30 minutes that you've traveled. You've swapped some stories, you've told some tales, you've gotten some information, but you're not very far down the road yet. I mean, unless you've been hustling, are you traveling at a forced march? I don't.
No.
I don't know about anybody else, but I think the technical term for what Chippy's doing is lollygagging.
Yeah, so you guys have you're not very far down the road. It's early on. Any other questions to Imola?
Ooh. Before we go back to Chult, can you please help me or us get better at fighting undead? Which is to say, stock up on things like, anti-zombie ammo or holy water sprayers or whatever, Are you going to go to Chult with us?
I spent my whole life crafting the perfect weapon. Travel at your side. You are welcome.
Then they lost him.
He's right there. He is, as the angel put it to me, a thorn in Upta's neck. I assume that means that she shot him.
Yeah. Yeah, she did.
And have sent you to retrieve the arrow.
From this stringy thing. Is the string, near the ground?
Currently, yes.
Chippy's going to sort of, strum it like it was a musical instrument. Just like plink, plink.
Currently completely translucent. Or that's not the word. Incorporeal. There we go.
Ooh.
But also translucent. I mean, light passes partially through it.
Chippy's going to get distracted for a while trying to see if he can put his eyeball directly inside it and seeing if he can see Wayne's internal organs or just experiment, maybe jump over it a couple times with trying to not touch it. And
when you put it in your eye, getting wisdom. Pretty good. Pretty good. So indeed, you put your eye right up to it, and it hurts. Like you're gonna take. Let me roll it, but it's hard to keep your eye on it. I mean, it's like looking into a direct light. But the shadows kind of in the light, you can see there is an arrow shaft, and you can kind of you managed with that wisdom save to pull the vision back farther up the line and kind of see that there is a colossal form that this arrow is attached to. And it is just looks like it's resting in a glade. And hold on, let me roll something. Ooh, and that's going to be 7 psychic damage. Just, I mean, it's a lancing pain all the way straight to your dome, right? But don't pass the skull. Don't collect $200. Go straight to brain.
Would this be a useful time to do any sort of I don't know, perception to try to see he's gonna take the 7 damage and kind of shake it off and grunt and say interesting, and then he's gonna try it again, and this time he's gonna really try and make out more details of the location and the details of the being that it's stuck into.
So I wanna double check real quick. So you took the damage. You don't have to break contact. If you want to, you can, or you can stay. And it may have a mechanical effect, which is why I'm getting this detail. Are you gonna push?
I think although
okay,
it may not be as smart, but I think he does jump back and say, "Oh," and then kind of looks at everybody and says, "Oh, that's interesting," and then dives in again.
Okay.
So yeah, not necessarily a lot of common sense on this boy.
Let's get a wisdom save again. Well, that's that's
it's
7
not a
more.
1. It's not a 1. Woohoo!
That's 7 more psychic
damage. Should I roll the perception, or I mean, he's trying to think about maybe Arcana because he's wondering what kind of magic.
You are currently blinded. You have the blind condition. Your vision has washed out white. And at this point, you hear Amala's voice. What are you doing? Stop that!
He's gonna start babbling about the giant figure that this is stuck into and all that.
It's a dinosaur. It's Uptau.
I think Alex is gonna.
Why you always have to do things the hard way? Said follow.
Alex is gonna notice him. Chippy's sort of wandering around, maybe blundering into people, and so Alex is going to grab him by the ear and kind of drag him in the right direction, following the party.
Should wear off soon. If it doesn't, I have a spell for that. Serves you right, pointing strange lights at your own eye. Wizards. Why?
Actually, you should try it. It's pretty cool. It's really interesting.
You went blind. You screamed
got a spell for
the
it.
whole time. Why would I do that?
You may never have the chance again.
I don't fear the missing of that. I have let many foolhardy impulses pass. I do not regret. Continues on the way. You're able to be led. And she continues to ask you questions, what is it you've actually found out about this soulmonger, this thing that give me a quick insight check. I'd allow perception as well.
I got a 27 on insight.
That's exceptional. You notice she keeps referring to these events in the past tense, right? She refers to remembering the curse. She remembers when that happened.
So you're from our future? Is Wayne from our future?
No, the Wayne you know is definitely the Wayne on his course.
But we are in the past now, right?
Yes. I am just a few years further back than you.
How did you get to the time you're in?
I age.
I would assume you got there the same way that we did, getting here now, right?
You mean the time that I am currently in?
Yeah.
I traveled through a portal. It was made by that code that travels the sun.
But not the same portal we went through.
Portal.
Can we get other portals to other places and times? Like, that might be really useful. Like, right now, I mean, can we just get a portal up to the place we're going?
There are portals and there are portals. They are not they're not so simple as that, fine. As you have probably learned journey.
Or, I mean, if not a portal, then, like, what about a flying carpet? Because if we had a flying carpet, we could play cards on the carpet while we're traveling. Or dice? Are you more of a dice person?
I don't gamble. I like games of skill.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, like what? What's your game of skill?
Do you push wrestle?
Okay. I'm more into brain games, but yeah, let's try. What do we do?
She sets her foot next to your foot and grabs your hand and takes a stance. She says, "Don't end up on the ground. First one to lift their foot loses." Give me an athletics test. Well, she didn't do much better on the dice roll. Actually, she did worse on the dice roll, but got a better result. So neither of you are at best, but she's busy trying to correct your footwork. She's like, no, you've got to move it back. No, there you go. Yes, no, yeah, no, there you go. And she only beat you by 2, but it's because she is strong. You can tell she has she's a very dense center of gravity.
Chippy is going to playfully try to make it a partner dance. And at a 9, the performance is probably pretty weak. It's
that's
not
that's
22.
About the time she froze.
22. So it was a decent little dance.
Right. You attempted to make it a dance, and then she just hip checks you, and you, and then you dance it off.
Yeah. I mean, would this be an opportunity? Any kind of dex check, dex save? Alex gets to add a little for the rabbit racial ability. Should I roll that?
So it's
an extra D4.
It's not that. It's not that dire. No, you dance it off. It's fine. Those are more, not that less. Too old. Now, how do you plan to get through Rasnisia to the Soulmonger?
How do we plan to get Rasnisi what?
Through Rasnisia and to the Soulmonger. We're still getting that echo, by the way.
Chippy is going to cast Shocking Grasp and like theatrically demonstrate shocking himself with it and say, "Take that, Rasnisi!"
When the moment X. How do you plan to get to that moment? He has a city, his beck and call, correct?
Yeah, that's a good question. We need to rally forces. I mean, we said we were going to make a pitch to Sultan, so then we got distracted by this quest.
Enlightened.
That's the end of my notes on that. I don't know. I don't remember.
This is good. That gets you to the battle with this Rasnisi.
Right.
Not Soulmonger.
So Syndra Silvermane, and then Otambu, they had a big meeting thing at the table, and the Emerald Enclave and the Flaming Fists and the Harpers and the Alliance of Lords and the representatives of the Order and Camp Vengeance and the Order of the Gauntlet. And so anyway, they were all talking and they thought it was really important. And then we were going to do something with circles of teleportation, and there might be one at the dwarven city that we helped take back, but there's still a dragon there. So I think we should go kick the dragon's butt first before we go after Rosnisi, just in case there's some, whatever. Did that I don't know, that probably didn't answer your question.
No, it did. I see a path, especially if this dragon said it, where its lair is. Once you get its horde, that will fund an army. Hordes. So that will get you there, and that will make the battle with Rasnis. And then
and the merchant princes too. I think they were part of it. I'm not entirely sure they were telling us all the truth, but it seemed like they were definitely being our allies and or trying to get us to be their agents, more or less, which seemed to be working out.
I would counsel you not to get involved in any of them. You are there for divine purpose. But I'm not your mom.
I mean, armies make battles easier, but also gold does tend to get us fun magical stuff. I like fun magical stuff.
There's a limit on what one can carry. Eventually one needs a nation for the one's wealth. I hope you never get to that stage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the in-game word for this is, but we only get 3 attunement slots, right? So
yeah, that's the in-game word. You can only attune 3 items.
I have a variety of items that don't require attunement. But yes, some of the more powerful ones do.
But still, how much can you really carry? Do you want to carry? How much do you want to have to do with? That's what the community is. That's why I taught my son to build relations like yours.
Mm-hmm.
What happens after Rasnisi dies? Not with the politics, not with the army. Who cares? You're on a mission from God. Holy course. How do you get there from where your plan leaves?
Well, depends on what we find with him, I think.
I think he has.
Or maybe we can squeeze it out of him. Or speak with Dead. Ask him some questions once he's passed. Does that still work with the Soulmonger? I haven't heard that not working.
It did. It does. Will for you.
Yeah, so we could maybe learn more about the Fane that way. If it in the Soulmonger, if it comes to that.
On a more practical level, the Helm of Teleportation only can take the person to somewhere that they can see or visualize or have been before, I think. And so, since we haven't actually been to their enclave, maybe that means somebody has to go in first to be able to teleport there, or we have to find somebody who's been there and survived. or maybe some other method. Maybe there's a teleportation circle, or we could just like do a zoom in. Like we could get maybe the Aarakocra people would be willing to give us a ride, like an escort, or
all you need is something from the city. A material. If you have visited, it's also good.
Right.
So we need to get something from the city.
Or a good look for the cast. In many ways. Don't get hung up on the details. None of that is what to ask. Two. Rasnisi is dead. You hope he has a clue.
It doesn't sound great when you say it that way.
He may. He is a position of high power. He will at least know if something like that is in his city.
So there's also what appears to be a ship, like a sailing ship, that looks like it has crashed in the vicinity somewhere. And so after I'm just going to put out there, I'm going to vote that if the band doesn't decide to break up after Ross Nisi's toast and the Soulmonger and everything's taken care of, we figure out what's going on with these flying ships. I think that looks like fun. I don't know. I'm going to nominate that as our possible subsequent mission.
Fair.
Do you have a flying ship, Ms. Imola? Ma'am, sir?
Yes. A few. But not the sort you mean.
Can you make him go like this?
She looks like she's just sort of like nodding along with you for a second. Sure. Are you always this unfocused?
Yes.
I see.
It's called attention rabbit hyper disorder.
Focus. You can do it.
Well, from the stories that I had heard amongst several of them, Gom looks around, that the Soulmonger has something to do with the Ross. Apparently he has it, or is guarding it, or something.
But that seems unclear. It's not why he is your enemy.
True.
So you hope, and perhaps you have faith in the path you are set on.
Yeah, wait. I mean, is he our enemy? Like, why is he our enemy?
I mean,
Well,
having an undead army is kind of a red flag, but
also,
Isn't he like trying to kill the world and like steal all the souls of people who die and do other bad stuff that we want to stop? I think that's why. I think that's why he's our enemy.
well, that's the Fane. That's not Rosnisi, right? Rosnisi's the cursed paladin.
But the cursed paladins that works for the soulmonger or whoever, the cursed paladin has a boss that's doing all this stuff with the stealing the souls in the undead army and all that, right? And so that's bad.
On the soul, right? If I remember correctly, right? You know that it is, if I remember right, There was definitely I want to say a lore thing that that Shragon dropped, that there was like a couple people involved. I don't know. I hope it's in somebody's notes. It's not in mine. Not in what I have prepared to check. But you do know that there is more to that. So yeah, I want to say it was a legend lore that got dropped a long time ago.
Anyway,
Indeed.
Russ Nazi is good.
Indeed, it was a while ago.
Yeah, if you have a copy of that, you can drop again. Because in game, it was not that long ago.
But I mean, to the point, Ross Nazi is our enemy because he and his boss are doing gnarly things that are hurting everybody, including us. And like, somebody's got to stop him, right?
No, I don't say he should not be your enemy. I think he should have a very clear picture of why.
Yeah.
Have more than one enemy, and not all the same enemy. They may be interrelated by threads of fate, but the Fane is not Ras. Any of there's theater.
You're cutting in and out a little bit.
Oh, it's not any of the players in that theater. It is a creature that manipulated all of those different beings into the same soup. If you are going to truly foil this time being, you must have threads, mark.
Facts and threads.
I mean, at the very least, know why you are killing it. Other than it is just evil, or you have promised a spirit creature. Why were you so quick to promise this spirit guardian would slay this foe? I know why my son.
Oh?
It is an interesting hunt.
Well, it seems divined by the gods, does it not?
He believes every hunt placed before him is just such a thing. It is a blind spot.
But, I mean,
really
right. Isn't it true this time, though?
If this is the future, couldn't we just refer to maybe some history books about how it went down?
I thought this was the past.
Indeed. We have traveled to a time before we were born.
I see.
Well, I mean, to start with, I don't really like having big bad guys who get multiple reactions per round come after me with the whole counterspell thing. And then after they die, they do it again. And on top of that, I'm sorry, they're lying about it the whole time. And then it's not even them, but like somebody tougher than them is sending them this way, and they didn't even want to come attack us. Like, I mean, that seems like it answers why a little bit. Like, I mean, if nothing else, the Fane seems like kind of a bully.
Oh, you have circled around again. I see. Oh, good. So the Fane is not your problem. It is very clear. You are tools in the celestial war. You're not general.
So when the angel sent us here and told us to go after the Fane, we
Angel said this?
I don't know. I don't remember who said it. I guess he just kept attacking us, so it seemed like the obvious thing to do. Like when you keep getting hit in the face with the problem.
Well, I'm traveling the Outlands in search of more, wild shapes to take and learn from.
Pilgrim.
But I was taken by this fanciful flight of person turned arrow, and decided to accompany these on this journey since it matches with mine.
Oh, so you've
It
not
seems there are bigger things here than just sightseeing.
think you have the privilege, or these, maybe not gone, these folks have the privilege of knowing the sort of celestial mystery they are caught up in. Most never have any such insight at that level. Is it a blessing? Is it a curse? It's what you do with it.
Well, I definitely venerate the gods and the powers that they've given.
Well,
They've helped me be closer to nature.
sure that you will have the option to see all of strange, extinct creatures we approach to the labyrinth. She gestures at it. You've gotten noticeably close, right? It's a very big structure, and it keeps getting bigger. It's close enough now that you can see that while all of the walls and things seem pristine, it is still overgrown, as though it were a jungle ruin. But it has suffered no degradation or anything like that. And it's the plants really only enhance the beauty of the thing. There are carved reliefs in the walls. You can't really see all of them yet, but you can see some of the larger figures in it. A lot of tabaxi are in there. A lot of dinosaurs. Yeah. She sort of gestures that. Interesting moments, I'm sure, for a pilgrim. But I thank you for keeping my son's friends safe.
So it's true, we haven't really promised anybody we were going to go fight the Fane. So I guess we could just, as soon as we find Wayne, if we haven't fought the Fane, we could just take off.
I would say, in point of fact, that your desire to fight the Fane, you seem already involved in its scheme. And if you foil this, whatever it is that has created this curse, then you will have foiled the Fane. It is on that level that mortals can make a difference. If it seeks to alter history, alter it in your favor instead.
So it's only one giant bad guy that we have to go after, because by doing that, it will also send comeuppance toward the other one as well.
Sounds like no. And again, she's like beginning to look at the massive structures around you. There are starting to be like markers on the road, and pillars that are placed with again various different sort of carved reliefs in a lot of the same styles that you've seen in Schultz. A lot of alligator images, starting lizard folk. There's also, a lot of activity in the forest, but none of it bothers.
No rabbits?
I mean, do you go out hunting off the road?
No, I mean in the carved imagery.
I mean, it doesn't feature heavily. Ooptao doesn't have a whole lot of very specific connection to rabbits. Or the Harangan. As you're approaching, Imala sort of like stops and like as the road is becoming less a jungle path and more of an actual like old overgrown road. She stops and just looks at you all. You will soon be in the presence of a god, a primordial, older and powerful god, in fact, though it now sustains itself in worship as God. What is your plan for that encounter?
Maybe we should sleep on it.
I have only a certain amount of time to see myself. I will if I have.
You cut out a bit on that.
I have only a certain amount of time to see my son. I will make the journey without if I. But I don't think it's necessary. What will you do when you are faced with a god?
Well, I'm
Dotheria
just saying
told you
prayer.
that the end of this trail is Uptao.
I'm gonna say a prayer.
That is always a good start. You may want to begin singing prayers all the way in. I don't think it's wise to surprise. As if. Are you just hoping to collect son?
You broke up again.
Oh. Are you hoping just to collect my son and run away?
Collect him and run away? I mean, probably not.
Maybe walk away?
Do you have travel plans of how to return to Schultz?
I do. But, I don't have a way to return to Schultz. I have a way to. It won't help you.
Sorry, you said you do have a way to return what?
I have a way to return. It will not help you. After you speak or flee from a god, how will you get home? The path, as you just saw, ends with my son, Nero, at Uptao. There is no more path after that.
I mean, if this angel has plans for us, I mean, we'll learn about them then. But yeah, collecting Wayne, seeing what the angel wants, and then asking for a ride home. Yeah, we followed this because primarily to find Wayne, and this duplicate Arcanoloth has been a thorn in our side
It
as much
might
as anything.
it might be why you felt you needed to go.
What? The Arcanoloth?
No, that you wanted to follow my boy. But I don't believe that that is why you are sent. You understand the difference?
I mean, no.
Well, I mean, a different question that may come to the same answer is, why was this arrow shot into the neck of this god? Like, what was the point of that?
I think it's very clear. To get his attention. And then to lead you to that point of attention. What you do with it once you have a god's attention, that's how you turn history.
So if I was just okay, so I'm not claiming to be, as wise as, the religious folk and everything, but if I was going to ask a big, really old, powerful god to help me attack like Zombie King or whatever, and clean the land of zombies and get rid of whatever that stuff is, I think I might try to set up a meeting that didn't involve stabbing the potential ally in the neck. I mean, that's just, my first thought would not be stab the person I'm asking for help in the neck.
Well, have you ever gotten a god's attention? When you do, you can critique.
Well, I have received a god's attention, but not by having actively tried.
There you are.
I mean, it's just generally bad form. I mean, some people are more into the lawful side and some are more into the chaosy side, but I think both sides can agree it's generally, it doesn't put someone in a good mood to be stabbed in the neck. I mean, generally. I mean, certainly there might be exceptions.
We're not the ones who stabbed. We're not the ones who stabbed. We're following the trail to the god who was stabbed with this. Yeah.
Okay. There are things you can change and things you can't.
Well, are we gonna go into this labyrinth today or what? Like, what's the schedule like?
I think you should have a solid plan about what you do speak or
I mean, it's as solid as we have.
What are you going to say to Tao?
I mean, do you want a script? Is that what you're looking for? I don't know, like we talked about what we're gonna say. I don't know.
And which is why we do it before we walk in the door. If you will, excuse, in the person and in the moment, none of you seem very agile in social situation.
Yeah, that was Wayne's job.
Which is why he is the arrow that was sent to whisper in his ear. But he does not say the word. You should know. I mean, think of something.
Chippy looks at Alex, who's definitely has higher charisma than Chippy does, and raises his eyebrow at her.
This is also a help I can give. Cleric folk port for a hunt. How Wayne does what.
You're breaking up again.
Ah, hell. I'm gonna have to. Focus, clarity are what I can provide.
All right, how about this? Hello, holy big god person. I have great honor for you. I have much respect for you, and offer gifts and stuff like that, and sing songs, and maybe we'll come up with a good song while on our way in. Will you please help us get rid of the person who's messing up Chult, the being that's doing the zombie thing and stealing all the souls and stuff, please? And oh yeah, can we have our friend back who's stuck in her neck right now? We didn't do it. We're sorry. Please help us.
Well, while it was insincere and sarcastic, it was a framework that you can work with. Yeah, you should probably start with a little prayer, a little something to thank him for his audience. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. And then, sounds like you need help with Soulmonger. Perhaps you can explain to him the situation. Now, you got to remember that we are very far in the past from the event. So he probably does not know. But he will remember. You can give him warnings. Can ask him for aid in your army's assault. You have many things that could be aided by the help of the god of the jungle.
Okay, I got it. I know the perfect gift. We're gonna build a giant hourglass. That's we got to figure out how much time it has to last. I'm guessing about 1,000 years. And when the hourglass is done, there's going to be a really big bell that goes off right when it's over, and it'll really ding really loud and wake up Ub Tao and remind him. Does Ub Tao identify as male?
Male forms.
That it's time to go kick Zombie Daddy's butt. Eh?
Why do you seek complicated? He needs no mechanism. He's the god of planning.
I see why Faye don't like you guys so much. You're boring. Doesn't that sound fun? A giant hourglass? He's gonna wander away and start sketching it, making plans in the dirt.
He very quietly says to Roken, I think your friend's mind maybe needs some help.
It does seem fractured at times. So he's the god of dinosaurs and planning? That doesn't sound legit. I mean,
He's a primordial made into a god.
yeah.
Can be many things. We contain multitude.
All right, so explaining the Soulmonger situation and then asking for assistance, asking for Wayne back, and to help us, and also a way home. That's, I think, our list. Do you have things to add?
From your stories, You know, it was Uptal that empowered Rasnisi.
Could perhaps ask him not to empower Rosnisi.
If such a thing can be.
Yeah.
We may already be too late for that.
I don't exactly know how this time stuff works, but I think that's a good move.
Alex is going to chip in. Hey, would that do some sort of thing where we wouldn't get born because we changed the past before? Never mind. I'm sure you thought of that.
No, I have faith that Uptal is not so cruel or stupid that he would hurt someone who gave him a warning message and then cause them not to be born so that he would then not get the warning. I have faith in gods. They're not idiots. And the ones whose followers are not cruel, they are not cruel. He's a hunter. That's different than cruelty. And at that moment, we will smash cut back to about 2 hours back on the trail. As you were breaking up lunch, leaving, turning onto the road, there's a tiny flash behind the portal. And Devixenum pops his head out from behind the portal to the Beastlands and begins following. It looks around at the battlefield, puts some sort of device up to his eye, and looks at you. And says, "Why do they have all my things?" And that is where we'll clip it for the evening.
I wish I knew why we had all your things. Stop showing up.
That's why we have all your things, because you keep showing up and then dying in front of us. All right. Well, thank you everyone for playing. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, hit like, hit follow, hit notifications, hit subscribe, all of the things, all of the buttons. If you want to see more of it, that is how you do it. Meanwhile, have a good game.
Bye.